Yes, now ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Thomas Vance YouTube channel. Today is August 10th, which means we've got Misfits X Series 16. I'm going to make sure to get these predictions out before the show starts. But we've had a few changes to the show. Kicking off the show, we have Amber Fields versus Leah Gotti. I understand they're both kind of like female stars in that sense. But looking at the press conference and the win, I'm thinking Leah Gotti looks a lot more confident than Amber Fields. Obviously, she was a lot louder, but when she was confronting her about, you don't really know about fighting, Amber Fields just kind of looked at it. I think Amber Fields is here for the money. I think, obviously, Leah Gotti is here for the money, but I think Leah Gotti seems a bit more confident, and I know nothing about either one of them. They both look amateur at shadowboxing and on the pads, so just guessing off of PR vibes, I think Leah Gotti's probably got this, probably a stoppage, probably. I mean, she was calling out Ashton Duet and Nikki Rue, so yeah. I mean, Nikki Rue got handed a belt on a controversial decision in her first fight, so I think Nikki Rue should have to fight anyone, if you ask me. So I think if Leah Gotti beats Amber Fields, put Leah Gotti in there against Nikki Rue. Second match, they have the Misfits Lightweight Tournament, the final first round tournament. It was meant to be Ace Musa versus Walid Sharks, but again, we've had another pull out. Walid Sharks got an injury. Shame, that thing happens, right? But what I don't like is they've put Lil Cray Cray in there, right? Notice when Argentinian King's opponent pulled out, they put Pully Arif in there. Fine. But when you put Lil Cray Cray in, right, and I understand, right, you'd need a short notice opponent, but Lil Cray Cray's already lost in the first round tournament. That means if Lil Cray Cray beats Ace Musa, that is so unfair on everyone else in the tournament. That's unfair on Yuri Gang, because then Yuri Gang's in the final. And that means if Lil Cray Cray beats Joey Knight, Lil Cray Cray could then be facing Yuri Gang in the final. Considering Yuri Gang's already beat Lil Cray Cray in the first round, it's kind of unfair, but Lil Cray Cray is taking it on short notice, so you can say it's a bit more fair, but still, most people stay in the gym. So some would say a harder fight than Walid Sharks, some would say not, but Ace Musa's got a different opponent, it's Lil Cray Cray. Not seen much from Ace Musa in the way Lil Cray Cray was fighting, especially against Yuri Gang. He was kind of beating. He didn't beat Yuri Gang on volume, because obviously Yuri Gang won that fight, and he did win it on volume if you ask me. But Lil Cray Cray was heavy on volume, and he was competing with Yuri Gang on volume. No one can do that, and I don't think Yuri Gang has got the most volume in the whole of Misfits. So I'm going to say Lil Cray Cray wins this fight, even though it's short notice. I've not seen anything from Ace Musa. I've seen one clip of him, like, from don't know how long ago, but he was in like an amateur fight and he knocked someone out. But Lil Cray Cray's got that volume, he's got speed, he's very technical, so I'm going to say Lil Cray Cray wins. But then I hope Joey Knight beats him, because if he ends up winning the tournament and he's already lost the first round fight, sorry, but that's the way it is. That's just unfair. It has. I'm sorry I have to say that, but if it's going to be that way, it's unfair. So, yeah. But then I've also got the first semi-final round, Yuri Gang versus Argentinian King. I see Yuri Gang completely blitzing him. I mean, Argentinian King didn't look that experienced in his last fight. And obviously, it was his first fight, but he didn't look that good. And obviously, it could just be the first fight, nerves or whatever, and it was a short-notice opponent, and Puliarov was on the back foot the whole time. And Yuri Gang's never going to be on the back foot. He's going to be defensive, but he's not going to be on the back foot. But I just say Yuri's faster than Argentinian King. He's going to land way cleaner. He's very precise. He's very technical. He's very smart. I think the only thing Yuri Gang might not have over him is the power. I think Argentinian King's going to go in there swinging, because that's just kind of what people who are novices in boxing think it's about. It's about swinging. And Yuri Gang, I get what Argentinian King's saying by pillow fist. Yuri Gang's not exactly a hard hitter, but I think Yuri Gang's going to completely out volume him and everything. I would love to see Yuri Gang maybe stop him, maybe hurt him, do some powerful shots, see what he can do, but I don't see it happening. I don't know how long it is, 4 or 5 rounds, but I see complete shutout, complete every single round dominance to Yuri Gang, and Yuri Gang will go to the final. Then we have Misfits debuting their pro fighters that they've signed. They've signed Jahan Adams, and he's going up against someone. Jahan Adams apparently is 4-0, and he's apparently dropped Rolly Romero in sparring. And if you can drop Rolly Romero, I'm sorry, but you can beat a novice boxer that no one knows. So I think Jahan Adams is clearly going to win their fight. And then they have a new signing who was in the Olympics last time around, 2020, I think, probably. Mia Cashman Anderson, and they're putting him up against someone who's 1-5. So I think the Olympic team member. I think someone who fought in the Olympics is going to be someone who's 1-5. So yeah, I think Cashman Anderson's going to win that one. Then Samuel Erickson was meant to fight OJ Rose. OJ Rose pulled out. Don't know why. I mean, this is not looking good for OJ Rose. His last opponent pulled out the last fight, and now OJ's pulled out of this fight. But they've got a short notice opponent of Anthony Taylor. Anthony Taylor was obviously meant to fight KSI on August 31st in the 2v1. So Anthony Taylor's obviously ready, but he was ready for KSI, not Samuel Erickson. I think the advantage here is on Anthony Taylor because he was already in camp. And Samuel Erickson had to train for someone like OJ Rose, who does not fight like Anthony Taylor. And it's very different. And Anthony Taylor's probably one of the best technical boxers in Misfits. He's probably one of the best. So this is going to be very hard on Samuel Erickson, but he is an aggressive karate combat fighter, so we'll see what he's made of when he fights Anthony Taylor. But I see Anthony Taylor winning this fight, and it's a shame for Samuel Erickson because it's on short notice, but maybe they can run it back because I don't see a knockout. I've never seen Anthony Taylor really get hurt. The only person who really put him down was Tommy Fury. You know, Idris Virgo put him down, but it wasn't convincing. But I've never seen Anthony Taylor really hurt. And maybe Samuel Erickson can do that, but unless he does that, I think Anthony Taylor wins that fight easily. So, Anthony Taylor for the win. And then apparently on August 31st, he's going to fight Gabriel Silva, obviously Anderson Silva's son, who's beat OJ Rose. And that would be the most closely contested fight, probably on Misfits ever, in my opinion. Then we have the main event, which I'm shocked this is a main event, but FaZe Temper versus Josh Bruckner. Now, it's very hard to tell. Josh Bruckner, this is a very 50-50 fight for me because Josh, he's very muscular, right? He looks fitter than FaZe Temper. He's very muscular, but he's very technical, but he's not very hard hitting. We've never really seen a hard hitting shot. He made Chase DeMont quit on the stool, but he never dropped him. And then his last fight, he barely touched Sol Papi and he got dropped once and stopped in the second round against Sol Papi. So he's not proved a lot of power, and he needs to prove a lot more power. He's got these muscles and he's got this fitness body, right? And he's got volume and he's got decent technique, but he's not got power. And I think I'm going to need to see that from him. And Temper, he's quite skinny. Like, sometimes I think, are you even training because you are so skinny? But no, I think what Temper's proved he has is power. He's got decent technique, but he's not very fast. So, he's not very explosive, but he has got power. And I think the history of FaZe Temper shows itself. I mean, he beat King Kenny on an overturned decision, but that was both their first fights. And it was a full camp, both their first fights, so probably the most fairest fight possible, but it's not the fairest fight to judge because it was over 2 years ago and it was his first fight ever. He's had so much experience since then. But his second fight, he had to fight Slim on short notice. Slim is notoriously one of the best in the scene. He had to fight Slim on short notice, so he obviously got knocked out. He fought an easy opponent on short notice and he knocked him out with a quick 1-2, right? Straight on the chin, knocked him out 1 round. 2 punches, literally. Then he had to fight KSI, literally the best in the scene. He had to fight KSI on short notice. So obviously he got knocked out then. The one fight since his debut that he had a full camp for was Ginty in Newcastle. I was there live. And he blitzed Ginty. Ginty tried to wildly throw, and obviously I don't think Temper was expecting the wild blows, but obviously Temper just took the shots in order to give them, and he was able to just take the shots and hit him straight down the pipe. Because obviously Ginty's swinging like that, and Temper just knows to go straight down the pipe, hit him hard, and he dropped him down 3 times. Referee said done. First round knockout. And that was with a full camp. And I think time has shown with a full camp and the right opponent, Temper can get the job done. Now, he's had a full camp, so is Josh Bruckner. Josh Bruckner's beaten an inexperienced Chase DeMont, and he's beaten a prime Sol, and he's lost to a prime Sol Papi. So again, it's a big toss up because the opponents, it just shows when the opponent's really good, they lose, but when the opponent's either right stylistically or easy, they obviously both win. But it's all down to, can FaZe Temper do it? Can he knock him out? Because Josh Bruckner is no Ginty. He's not, he's not going to be easily knocked out. But he is no Slim, he's no KSI, and he's not going to get knocked out. And Temper is no Sol Papi. He's not going to easily stop Josh Bruckner. I see this going all the rounds and it being very technical and quite boring. But either I see Josh Bruckner coming in with a blitz and swinging wildly and maybe dropping Temper, or Temper coming in with a clean swift 1-2 and dropping it. I'm just envisioning it here. But again, very closely contested. It's so hard to judge. I mean, you've got Malik Scott in Tempa's corner, you've got BJ Flores in Josh Bruckner's corner. I don't have an answer for this. I'm literally deciding on the spot. But I like Tempa. I've seen him live ever since the Kenny fight. I've wanted to see him win. Apart from KSI, I want to see KSI absolutely blitz him. And he did. And that was KSI's most beautiful win ever. Most beautiful, not his most beautiful win, but his most beautiful knockout. I think I'm going to root for Tempa, but it's very close. I would not be surprised if Josh Bruckner wins that fight. I'm going to root for Tempa. That's my predictions. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.